Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
you're
sir.
audible
Yes,
now.
sir.
I cannot share my screen, but trying to drag on the side. Is it? Can I share my screen?
Sir, you are the host
Yes,
of the
you can
session, so you
share.
can share.
Okay, okay, I will share. So here, these are the
I think resource person has left the meeting.
Yes, I also. Uh,
Okay, I will call him. Huh? Please wait. Don't leave the group. I will call him and I'll intimate you very soon. Huh?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We all are here.
Okay, he is joining. Please wait.
so I would better speak without looking at the PowerPoint slide,
Okay, sir. Okay, okay.
because if
Uh,
I share my screen, it is creating a lot of problem.
Okay,
So
sir.
because good governance basically uh, before I directly come to the points, I have already spoken about good governance index, and also I have mentioned indicators of good governance. Now, before I directly come to the situation of Manipur state, I would like to speak out eight characteristics of 8 features of good governance. That is, one is consensus. Consensus, that is broad consensus among the communities. As we know that there is a difference of culture, tradition, and social norms in every part of the society. So we need a broad consensus when doing some work. So this is called consensus. And responsiveness is also another important feature of good governance, because institution, government or private, should serve the stakeholders. So there should be a responsiveness of government action. For example, uh, in my personal opinion, I analyze that if there is a broken road, or if there is a if the road condition is not very good on the highway, or in some areas, then it is not repaired for so many years. So this is lack of responsiveness on the part of the government. So the responsiveness is also very important for promoting good governance. And equity and inclusion, as we know that our society is experiencing inequality between haves and have not. So this is the because economic growth is always happening in the cities and urban areas. It is leaving behind so many people of scheduled tribe, scheduled caste, and a marginalized section of the society. So equity and inclusion is an important part of good governance. Then transparency. Now our society is facing this problem of lack of transparency. We don't know what is the policy of the government implemented, how it is implemented. Even there is a lack of transparency in the implementation of NREGS. Some people are complaining that they don't have these wages for so many months, and then people are not aware about this job card holders. So there is also lack of information among the people. So transparency is also another part of another important part of good governance. And participation is also very important, because even gender participation, there should be a balanced participation. Even in as we have a democratic form of government system in our country, then there should be equal representation of people. We should not leave out uh, we should not leave out some people who wanted to join the mainstream. For example, if any kind of decision processes are discriminating some people, because of that marginalized section of the people, they are not able to join uh, the administration, or whatever the mainstream of the economy, mainstream of the nation. So participation in terms of gender or in terms of representatives, this is very important for the promotion of good governance. And keeping these few uh, uh, points of good governance, and also I forgot to mention accountability. Accountability should also be there, and people are always complaining that the state government lacks accountability, how the public funds are being utilized, and how the central sponsored schemes are being implemented. Funds are not coming to the villagers. So this kind of accountability is seen in our day-to-day life. So these are some of the important features of good governance. For example, consensus, responsiveness, and then equity and inclusiveness, rule of law. Our rules should protect the human rights, and also there should be impartial law, then it should protect the human rights. But in northeastern states, we have heard about the violation of human rights and armed forces special power act problem. This kind of problems are there. So we need to have this kind of rule of law in order to achieve good governance. Then transparency is also very important in the successful implementation of any schemes, state and central sponsored schemes, and effectiveness and the efficiency. Resource should be used properly, efficiently, and also we should have a sustainable development by by using this resource efficiently. We should not waste the resources. So these are some of the important characteristics of good governance: consensus, responsiveness, equity and inclusion, rule of law, transparency, participation, and effectiveness and efficiency, accountability. And keeping this important characteristics of good governance, let me come to the situation of Manipur. You know, Manipur has been facing a lot of problem. I'm not blaming the present government. The situation of this state has been continuing from the earlier successive government. For example, we heard when we were a student, we heard about this development gap between the hill and valley. Some people said hills are very hill districts, hill areas are very backward, and the valley areas are very developed. So there is a discrimination in the policy of state government. So this kind of complaint we heard it long time back. So is this a problem of good governance? So we need to ask this kind of question. And another important thing is that we have heard about this illegal immigrants coming to the Manipur state by crossing the border. And as you may be aware about this Golden Triangle, where it is a place where Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand, they are in these three countries. There is a place for manufacturing heroin products. Now, earlier Manipur was used as a transit route by on the roadways. They used to traffic this drug and then to the rest of the country. Now it is reported that this drug manufacturing hub has been shifted to Manipur border. But inside Manipur border, and then illegal immigrants, we call it trans-border tribe. As 4 or 5 days back in one article I read, it mentioned there are about 5,000 trans-border tribe. Trans-border tribe means who cross the border and up and down, up and down. So illegal immigrants crossed the border and started this drug manufacturing from this poppy. And as you may be aware of this poppy cultivation, there is a wide deforestation in the mountains of Manipur. In some of the selected mountains of Manipur, it is because of this poppy cultivation. And there is a more than 1,000 of acres have been brought under poppy cultivation. And because of that, we are facing climate change. Then rainfall is not regular, and sunshine is very extreme. Sometimes it is extremely cold. So there is a change in the weather in Manipur because of this deforestation. Then this illegal immigrant, they started cultivating poppy on the hills. Then they started drug lords started coming off in Manipur. So is it a part of this bad governance, right? So we need to look into this matter, because while what is the problem in the state? Why so many illegal immigrants cross border and started joining poppy cultivation? Is it because of good governance? No, because there is a bad governance. So we need to look into this matter. So and also other problems like as you may be aware about this National Register of Citizen, people are demanding for implementation of NRC in line with the Assam NRC. Assam is the only state that has implemented NRC in the country. Like that, Assam dictated more than 10 lakhs as illegal immigrant. They 30 lakhs, more than 30 lakhs. They were found to be coming from Bangladesh. So there is also likely that these illegal immigrants may pour into Manipur. As you know, the border is very porous in Manipur. Anybody can come and cross the border and settle in the hill area. So there we are hearing lot of villages coming up, more than 1,000 villages, new villages coming up, and it is said that illegal immigrants from Myanmar, they come cross border and settle in the hill areas and they form new villages. Is it a part of good governance? No, because good governance, promoting good governance and also attaining good governance is a great problem, because in Manipur there are two laws, because land laws is not uniform. In the hills, land is governed by the customary law. As you know, in one tribe that we call it village king or chief, or we call it Khulakpa. He is the landlord. He owns the village. Every household is giving tax to him. So even if government wants to establish a university, then they will seek permission from the village chief. So now law is not enforced in the hill areas, because the rule is governed by the customary law in the hill. In the valley area, people have maintained land record. We can give this land record to the bank for taking loan, but this is not possible in the hill areas. There is no land record except in some major towns like More, where there is a big market. Few people have got this land record, but in most of the hill areas, there is no land record, and also this place is governed by the customary law like village chief. And then when the state government wanted to take some measures, like they wanted to evict the encroachers on the hills, then it was faced with steep resistance from the village chief, because the villagers said state government did not take consent from the villagers, because village there is already autonomy in the hill districts, because there is autonomous hill district council act, and also there is Manipur Hill Area Committee, and also there is Article 371C. So there are so many acts and rules that govern the hill areas. Then the valley, the law is not the law can sometimes law cannot be applied to the hill areas. So in that area, well, how can we compromise this law? Even you may be aware of the fact that as I belong to the valley area, I cannot buy land in the hill area. I'm not allowed to buy. You cannot buy land on the hill areas, because it is prevented by Manipur Land Revenue and Land Reform Act 1960. But anybody can buy and purchase land in the valley area. So the law is not uniform in Manipur. So how we can have this good governance? As I told you in the good governance report, there are the public infrastructure, so many indicators are there in the good governance index. But if you want to implement law in Manipur, it is very difficult, because law is not uniform between valley and hills, and some laws are not applicable in the hills, but all the laws are applicable in the valley area. So this is the problem of good governance. And also another important thing is you may be aware of about so many problems in Manipur. Mention may be made of this, even this. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am talking in the context of Manipur, and what happened, this problem started when this war on drugs started. War on drugs started because the government wanted to drive away these poppy cultivators. Then war on drugs started. Then it was resisted by the tribes in the hill districts. And also, you may be aware about social situation condition in Manipur. There were a lot of bun blockades imposed on the national highway. There are more than 30 plus ethnic communities in Manipur. And then some ethnic communities, they wanted to assert their identity. And because of that, they imposed blockade on the highway. And why? What happened if there is a blockade on the highway? There is a reduction of essential supplies. The supply is cut off and the price is rise. So this is the area where good governance can play a very important role in the development of our society. And also Manipur is now in a critical juncture because of this violence, communal violence. Ethnic, the term ethnic is a part of your center for ethnic study. I wanted to draw your attention here because 50,000 people have been displaced because of this violence. Even MLA's houses were burned and 100 people lost their lives and houses and properties were destroyed. So this shows that the public properties, private properties and lives are not secured, and the properties are not, there is no security of life and properties. Then how can we attain peace in Manipur? Then internet services has been put on hold. We cannot use internet, mobile data is not there, mobile, and then how can we make this cashless payment? And educational institution closed, children are not going to school, curfew imposed, then suddenly. So the situation is very volatile, it's very unpredictable, and even medical supplies is also are disrupted. I talked to the association member, they said because of this the suspension of internet services, medical supplies contracted to 40% only out of it, because 60% gap is there. People will be suffering a lot in the near future. So these are the major problems of Manipur, and I wanted to say that this is a main issue of governance. Governance because of it is not moving, then even the territorial integrity is threatened. Some ethnic communities are asserting their identity, historical rights, so it is creating a lot of problem in the peaceful coexistence of Manipur. Even every day there is gunfight in the peripheral areas, in the foothills, then blame game continues. Some communities are blaming, some communities are blaming some communities. Instead of coming together into a negotiating table, people are fighting over newspaper, blaming each other. Now the people are directionless. Where we are, some people are protesting, some people are also protesting, people are directionless. Where are our leaders? So this is the situation of governance and development in Manipur. Now we need to have to fill up this development gap, and also we need to address this land owning system, what is happening in the hill areas and what is happening in the valley areas, and we need to implement this National Register of Citizens to detect the illegal immigrants coming from Myanmar, mostly coming from Myanmar. Even when military junta took over democracy in Myanmar, mostly in it happened in 2021 February. Then after that, military junta used fighter jet, and then they started bombing in the border area. Then so many illegal immigrants cross the border and they settle in the hill areas. And even there was a report released by the government. According to this report, there are more than 2,000 plus illegal immigrants coming from Myanmar. So these are some of the sensitive issues. So we need to have the National Register of Citizens to detect and deport the illegal immigrants, and also we need to have fencing on the border between Myanmar and India. Then we need to deploy security forces in the vulnerable area. Every day there is a gunfight in the peripheral area between valley and the foothills. Even one article found that there are about 38 vulnerable areas in Manipur for gunfighting. So we need to deploy security forces to protect the life and properties of the common people, villagers, so that we can also have a peaceful coexistence. You all maybe hear about this ban and blockade on the national highways of Manipur. There are very important highways, two highways. Then these are the lifeline of Manipur, because transportation, um, this is only through this national highway goods are transported into the state. And when there is blockade on the highway, people are facing lot of problem, shortage of essential goods, mostly medicines, and then price rises. So it is creating a lot of problem. This is a part of governance, and in turn it is affecting, it is adversely affecting the process of development. And also when we talk about the illegal immigrants, this is a national, it is a threat to national security, because Manipur is a part of India. So it is also another threat to in the country. When you talk about the Chinese aggression in Arunachal Pradesh, how the country, how the government reacted to that, like that, it's also happening in the Manipur side. So it is not only a Manipur problem, it is also overall a problem of the country. Country is threat to the national integrity and security. Therefore, because of this problem of governance and development, there is a threat to peaceful coexistence. As I said, there are more than 30 plus ethnic communities living together in Manipur. And if there is no peace, then there is a if there is a violence in the Manipur, then every ethnic community, then where is the peace? Peace, where has the peace gone? So there is a trust deficit widening between the communities. So we need to pull together this gap, and then promote good governance, peace, and development in Manipur. So I wind up with this slide. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a very informative sessions, and also it take us to really like people, those who are not in the Manipur and could not able to understand what actually reality is. And with your deliberations, we could have a snapshot of that reality, a bit of realities. But yes, what actual people are facing over there, what are the stakes are there, they need to be addressed. So now I express my gratitude towards our resource person, and before proceeding towards the vote of thanks, now I request now it's a forum is open for discussion. Our participant must be having many queries, want to know many things from our resource person. I request the participants, if you want to share your views, and if you want to, yes, Kabir ma'am is also saying it's a very informative deliberation, sir.
Thank you.
Any participants wants to ask any questions before the session is open
Ma'am,
for the
one
discussion?
question from Punima Saha in the chat box.
Yes,
One question from Punima Saha for in the chat box.
yes.
Oh.
So one question I would like to take, and ma'am Desi Rani Talukdar has put one question in the chat box, that has the government, both the central and the state, lack goodwill to solve the problem? Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, that's a very nice question. As you know, after this problem started in Manipur, exactly 3rd of May, then after this violence escalated, then what happened to bring this situation under control? Union Home Minister Amit Shah came to Manipur, and also he met so many politicians, ministers, MLAs, even one intellectual discussion. interaction program was also conducted. I was invited. I joined as a participant with the Union Home Minister. And there we are about 13 participants, mostly professors. I retired as officers, and then ex-servicemen, and so many important persons were there. We interacted with, we appealed to the Union Home Minister. Also, he met so many leaders, MLA, ministers, and also other state minister also came to solve the matter. And after that, Honorable Union Home Minister, he also went to the violence origin place in Churachampur. He met the stakeholders, MLAs, everything. Then in the following day, Union Minister assured that integrity of the state, territorial integrity, administrative integrity will not be compromised because of this violence. Because because out of this violence, one group demanding separate administration. So after meeting with the Union Minister declared that there will be no there will be no compromise for Manipuri integrity and administrative integrity. And then after that, after 5-6 days, then after the visit of Amit Shah, even Assam's minister also came to Manipur, Hemanta Biswa. Then so many important ministers came and visited Manipur, but still this problem continues. So we wanted this center intervention, but still the problem continues. Gunfight continues between in the foothill or peripheral area. And today or tomorrow there is a all-party political meeting called by the Union Home Minister somewhere at Delhi or Patna. So now centers intervention is going on, and also our Honorable Chief Minister is also working very hard to solve this matter. But the only thing is that there is a widening of trust between the communities. Then both the communities, Meitei community and as you maybe hear about this Kuki community, Meitei community, so widening of trust is there. So we need to have, we need to close this gap and then have a good, healthy relation, so that the normalcy comes back as before. Then the trust deficit minimized. Then the problem will be solved very soon. This is the situation.
Surely, sir, people has to come up with one consensus. So with your permission, I would like to take one more question, sir. And
ma'am, can I ask a question, please?
sure, ma'am, please.
Yeah, thank you so much. A very good afternoon, sir. I have a very, I have a question, sir. If I have been trying to understand the ongoing crisis in Manipur, and I believe it has got a lot to do with the 1949 merger of Manipur, when, as the Meiteis claim that, they were left out of the ST status. And then somewhere around, if I'm not mistaken, 2012, the, consideration for the Meitei population being included into the ST fold was brought forth. And then it has gained a violent momentum as of now, what we are seeing. But sir, from 1949 to 2012, I believe is a very, 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 very long time. So why this very long gap of, not claiming and not asking and not demanding? And now this very, very aggressive violence of, demanding the ST status for Meiteis. Sir, please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, there is a, you have got ideas about the Manipur situation. I appreciate you for that. And also, but situations are different in the context of Manipur state. So Manipur, as we all know, that Manipur was a sovereign state. For example, it was a princely state, and later on, Manipur merged with the Indian Union in 1949. and later on the Part C Union Territory, then the full-fledged state in 1972, and now with this merger, then still because of this merger, many people are also against this merger, and because of this situation, there are a lot of insurgents coming up in Manipur. So they are against the merger. So they wanted to go to the pre-merger situation. So this is another point. And another thing is ST demand committee, because as I said in the beginning of my presentation, there is influx of migrants like Assam in Manipur. Like there is a influx of immigrants in Manipur. So the future of the indigenous, what you call indigenous, is a very sensitive case, because there are more than 30 communities in Manipur. So it is better to say native people of Manipur. If the migrants are flooded, then illegal immigrants settle in the hill, then the native people will disappear from the state. Therefore, the only way is to have a constitutional protection of the indigenous population. This can be done through enlisting Meitei community in the ST list, so that this is the one. And because of that, in order to do so, another group said Meitei is an advanced community. They have got 2000 years old history, and ST community, enlisting ST community should be primitive tribe. So then other group claimed that Meitei was a tribe, hill tribe. So they also produced a lot of documents, supporting document. Meitei was a tribe in the census, and so on. And also another interesting part is when the ST community, they are saying that they are looking at some dark area, because they think that if Meitei are included into the ST list, all this reservation quota will be taken away by the Meitei people. So this is the bone of contention. But another, this ST demand committee said it is only a constitutional right to demand this inclusion of Meitei into ST list, because there is a process. You need to produce ethnographic report, then Registrar General, then the Union Minister of Tribal Affairs. There are so many official process. This is a constitutional right for demanding into to Meitei ST into the ST list. So this kind of chasm is almost there. Even this violence, even the High Court also took a verdict that they advised the state government to send the ethnographic report to the center. Then because of that, the solidarity march was held in Churachampur on the 3rd May. But everybody is saying that this is one of the issues. This solidarity march may be one of the reasons for the violence, because before that there were so many rallies, violence, and then burning happened before the 3rd May. So the solidarity march may be one of the reasons for the violence. There were also other reasons when state government took up these measures to evict the forest encroachers. Then state government was defied by the foresters, because they said they did not take consent from the village chief and so on. So this is a very complex issue in Manipur. So we can disaggregate this issue: merger, SC demand, and violence. Because as I said, we need to have laws cannot be penetrated into the hill area. Why? Because the law is not uniform. That valley area you can come and buy land here, but in the hill area you cannot buy land in the hill area and settle. So it needs the consent of the village chief. So land owning perception is different, and in the hills that law is governed by the customary law and marriage, then this forest management, then the judicial system. So it depends on the customary law. But in the valley, it is happening like Delhi, Bangalore, like things like that. So you can disaggregate your argument, your question. One is merger, separate one. Second is the demand committee and violence, like that.
Sir, but it just a curiosity. I mean, 1949 to 2012, I believe 63 years is a very, very long time. You know, for this
Yes.
sudden realization of wanting or demand for an ST status. So, I mean, I mean, it's a pretty long time. So what happened in the middle that suddenly, you know, the appeal had to come back again, the demand had to come back again from 2012?
Yeah. There we don't know, because people started people demanded inner line permit system. Then it was implemented. Then it is not able to solve the problem of the this influx of migrants. Then later on, but as you said, there is a long gap. But the thing is that people realize later that the native people will be people will be swallowed by the influx of migrants. And so that the only way to, because earlier it was this kind of understanding was not there before 2012. It might be the reason. Am I right?
Yes. Thank you. I think this debate will go on, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, sir. Sir, if you would like to take some more questions, sir?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I ask one question, please?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Good afternoon.
So the question is coming out of curiosity, as Kunjalata ma'am said, because now Manipur is a very hot topic these days and everybody is interested in it. And we politicians, means political students, are more interested into it.
Mhm.
Sir, I wanted to ask you that you spoke about accountability of the government. So can you put a little focus on the ignorance of the responsiveness and effectiveness of the government towards the people of Manipur? And illegal migration also you were talking about. It has been a problem in most of the parts of the states, I guess. How far is it different from compared to Manipur and other parts of the country? Is it only from the Myanmar side, or is it from the surrounding borders?
Yeah. The Manipur border is, it is porous, except with some gates, like with security. Like the rest of the borders are porous, so anybody can intrude. Even at night also, they can cross the border. But at Dimapur, that gate, Nagaland by Manipur, Dimapur side, Mao, what you call Mao, Ziri, only for 5 points that entry. Entry checks were there, but others are porous, and also it is also hilly area. And when I talk about this transparency of government, even you can also talk about the fund flow of this from fund flow, central sponsor schemes, or any special assistance coming from center to the states. Then now when I discuss with the finance department, they said everything started online from a specific year in 2015 or 16, I forgot. Then when the fund comings, like you maybe hear about public finance management system, that fund transfer electronically. So this, when these things are used, public finance management system, then central government can locate where the fund is, where is the fund located? Is it is it released to the beneficiary? It is released to the traditionally fund directly came to the state government, then dispersed to the department concerned. Now the situation has been changed. It transferred online through even university also. There is a RBI, Reserve Bank of India account, and even there is a online transfer, RTGS, everything money that uh, PFMS, Public Finance Management System. That is a transfer of fund. It is transparent that everyone can see where the fund is located. Is it reached to the beneficiary or not? This is the point. So transparency should be there. Even when we talk about this fund allocation, there are so many schemes, and but villages are not benefited. Even when we ask in a survey, are you aware about this NREGS scheme? Some people are not aware about this scheme. Some people are aware, they got the job card, and also they got the ways, and this kind of lack of information is there. Even the as you know, the panchayati system, pradhans are there, members are there. So members made a publicity in the villages that there will be a Gram Sabha meeting, everybody comes out and we will distribute card holders. So by doing that, most of the common peoples are not aware about the benefit of the schemes. I'm just talking about the NREG schemes, but there are so many central sponsored schemes like that. These schemes and the programs, if there should be transparency and accountability, so that we can see the picture of beneficiaries very clearly, right? So this is the point where I would like to highlight that transparency and accountability, information, free flow of information, and people are aware about the government policies and program, and how people are recruited in the government department, and how advertisement is done. Even without advertisement, so many people are recruited into government department. So there is a lack of information and transparency, as it may be happen in Assam also. Without advertisement, there is a recruitment of staff. So this is another kind of lack of transparency and accountability, in addition to finance. So what was the other question you asked?
So the other question was the illegal immigration.
Yeah, illegal immigrants, because this is very sensitive issue you ask. Suppose if cultural affinity and homogeneous looks, for example, if a person from UP, if a person comes to hill area and settle, then anybody can recognize he is from Uttar Pradesh. But people coming from Myanmar, they are very similar with our hill tribes, even Kuki sub-tribes. They look very similar with the Myanmaris. Even the clans are also similar. These are called trans-border tribe. So it happens like the locality may be aware about this entry, but person like me, we cannot identify who are the. So, but by language, sometimes also we found so many people who can't speak Manipuri language. So definitely he or she would be Myanmar, is right. Even how many kilometers is bordering with this Myanmar? 398 kilometers. And there are so many porous borders. And when military junta took over Myanmar democracy, at night, so many people intruded through the porous border, and they come and shelter because there is a cultural affinity. Looks are similar between the hill tribes. So it is like in the invisible type. So it depends on the accountability of the sincerity of the local people in the hill area, right?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Hello,
Yes,
I have a question.
yes.
Can I ask you, sir? I have already put my question in the chat box.
Okay, please ask
You
me.
have said that there is discrimination between the districts of valley and hill areas. How to solve this problem, sir?
This is because of this, because discrimination discrimination is happening in every part of the country. Even we are talking about marginalized Dalit people, Adivasis, and also this is social. There is a hierarchy in the society where this generates this marginalized. This generates deprivation and social exclusion. So that the 10 5-year plans talk about this inclusive growth, where the benefit of growth should reach the poorest of the poor, every section of the society, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, Muslim minorities, everyone. Like that, discrimination not between exactly not discrimination between hill and valley, because most of the hill people are also living together in the valley area, right? So most of the people, mostly student, well-to-do family, they are living together with us in the valley area, and most of them are staying back at the hometown. So, but even when we were student, we started hearing that there is a huge development gap between the hill and valley. Then we started asking ourselves, where was the good governance? Then again, the issue turned out in different dimension. Like now, ethnic community, they wanted to assert identity in the form of autonomy, in the form of territorial council. So this is a threat to the Manipur integrity. Manipur is a very small state. Then if every ethnic community want to live separately, then the integrity will be broken. Then this is the threat to the peaceful coexistence. So how to solve it? So we need to first of all, we need to have a very good relation. That widening of trust should be narrowed down significantly, so that government should play an important role. How can we play an important part? There is a government actor, private actor, stakeholders. They can play very important role to unite the Manipur together. So even there is a, as I told you earlier, there is a trust deficit, widening of trust deficit between the communities. One community think one thing, another other community thing. So there is a lack of confidence. So we need to promote a healthy relation among the communities, between the communities. Then after that situation is, then we can establish a very good form of good system, or a very lasting peace state. So this will be possible only after closing the trust deficit, and even development should be there in the hills, so that people are not feeling deprived, that in the hill people's state is not doing anything for development of the hill areas. So this kind of perception should be looked into by the government. So it is a long process, because as you know, Indian polity is very flexible one. So we can make so many changes. Even the land perception system, as long as this land owning perception is there, then this conflict will continue. Suppose if you want to evict the encroachers on the hill, then people will raise it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, coordinator ma'am.
Thank you.
So any queries? I think one more question is also raised by Sir Ma'am Fazia
problem.
Yasmin
No
Chalia,
problem.
and it's
Yes, yes.
the according to her, like the challenges we have been facing in the Manipur since Sarmila and Afsa. So what is your views towards like, what is the hope for good governance in Manipur?
So as I said, one of the important characteristics of good governance is the rule of law. Rule of law. One of the, as I mentioned, eight characteristics of good governance. That is, rule of law is one part. So here comes the this protection of human right and the security of people. So are we able to protect human rights? So this is the situation. So the question of Armed Forces Special Power Act comes. Even Sramila was fasting for 13 years, and then she contested election and could not win the election. So now the situation is changed in most of the jurisdiction. Armed forces, this AFSPA lifted in some of the police station jurisdiction, about 14 now, and in some part of the state it is still there. Now it is now I think the in that area the situation of Manipur is improved. Now the situation is the conflict between the communities, widening of trust between the communities, not in terms of this Armed Forces Special Power Act. It depends from time to time. But the next time the problem of Armed Forces Special Power Act come up, we don't know, right? Even in some of the hill districts, people are complaining about this protection of human right. There is still imposition of AFSPA, but in most of the valley areas, this AFSPA is lifted.
Surely, like, yes, when social scientists and people from the different fields are going to work on this, surely we one day definitely we come up with some solutions and good governance. And Manipur is going to set a good example of good governance very soon. That's always our wishes, sir.
Thank
So
you. Thank
I
you so
think,
much.
so I think no more queries are, sir. So we have come to the end of this technical sessions and
Thank you. Thank you.
a learning
Thank you all.
session and informative sessions. So on behalf of this organizing committee, NERC, and participants, so I'd like to express my gratitude. And with your deliberations, we have come to know many things, like people, those who are not from this field, those who have not known the many realities. So sometimes from the media and articles also, it's not that clear also, unless and until some such kind of interactions are not there. So people like, and many like participants have definitely must have learned many things from you, sir. And there are major takeaways of, as one of my friend is also from the Manipur, and we always used to say that Manipur is a land of jewels, sir. It's a rich valley surrounded with the hills and the lakes. Now, when it comes to good governance, why we have to take this example of Manipur. And you started with your deliberations, sir, with the demographic situation. Yes, when to understand this good governance, some technical concepts are very much required for the people, those who don't are working in this field and those who are also not belongs to the field, the people like us, those who are from the educations, and how it needs to measure and how it can be measured, how the layman can understand what to measure to a good governance, what actual good governance index means, and what are the parameters and the factors does works as has an interplay when it comes to the good governance. And yes, there are many vulnerabilities there. One is there, like when it comes to like conflict, the situation in conflict, women and the children are always that the high stakes, like how to address, let the peace like resumes in Manipur, the good governance going to resume in the Manipur. It's our wishes, and definitely the social scientists, all from the India and from the from the other countries, also definitely they must be thinking, and the ministry also, like the government also working on that, as you have said, like there's the minister also they're visiting to Manipur. They want to come up with some kind of solution. A dialogue is very much essential at this point, sir. So we are very much fortunate to have you, and with your deliberations, definitely our participants are going to like go ahead with this like, yes, what other solutions could be there, and definitely they're going to work upon that. So
Thank you so much. Thank you all.
thank you so much, sir.
I will leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for today. This session has already completed. We will meet you tomorrow at 10:15. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Kindly fill up feedback form for the day 3. Kindly fill up as soon as possible.
Learned participants are requested, particularly the moderators are requested to submit their sessions report in a WhatsApp group or in our WhatsApp also. It is must for the moderators to submit their report, because we have to produce this report in a field depreciation as well as we have to submit it to ICSSR and SSC long for this completion of this course. So all are here requested.